This video summarizes everything we know so far about Fafnir. While I typically don't do these kinds of videos anymore, I'm extremely hyped for Fafnir and I wanted to show you what we know so far about his design and abilities. Here you can see all the concept arts that have been shown, with the icons in the beginning being the official icons for the character. We also have a leaked version of Fafnir's kit though. Bear in mind that this is subject to change because it's data mined stuff, but it seems to be pretty legit given that at least his ultimate seems to be somewhat like it is in the data mining, simply because he has these two different shapes or forms. From what we know, Fafnir is gonna have two forms, a dwarf form and a dragon form. He will have a normal basic attack chain and he will be a guardian. His passive? Fafnir gains 4 bonus gold from all sources. Fafnir also gains bonus protections based on the amount of gold he's currently holding, maxing out at 30 protections at 1000 gold in hand. This already makes him very different from other characters, which is very interesting, and now let's get into the kit. Here's 1. Fafnir hurls his cursed hammer forward. The hammer passes through minions and stops at the first guard hit, dealing damage. If a guard is hit, they are stunned for 1 second and a pulse of curse energy emanates out from them, slowing nearby enemies for 3 seconds. In dragon form, this ability deals increased damage over time and the curse shreds protections in addition to the slow. Damage goes up to 300 with 50% scaling, slow goes up to 40%, the dragon damage per tick goes up to 120 plus 20% scaling, and the dragon protection debuff goes up to 40%. The cooldown is 12 seconds. Ability number 2. Fafnir coerces his allies into fighting harder, boosting their power and attack speed 5 seconds while healing himself. In dragon form, this ability has a larger area of effect and can buff multiple allies. Attack speed buff 50%, power buff 30%, self heal up to 200. Cooldown 15 seconds. Ability number 3. Fafnir leaps to a target location and executes a despicable strike, dealing damage and disarming enemies hit by it. In dragon form, Fafnir can leap much further and grab the closest enemy in his jaws upon landing, dealing additional damage and stunning the target. Damage up to 230, 30% scaling, cooldown 15 seconds. So you've basically already heard about the ultimate by the other abilities. I want to get into why I love this character so much and why I made this video. I've been hoping for a character like Shyvana from League of Legends to come to SMITE since I've started playing this game. I love the character design of Shyvana and she's the only reason I occasionally still play League of Legends. With Fafnir's ultimate, I basically have Shyvana in SMITE. I will show you what it looks like in League of Legends and you get a rough idea of how the ultimate will impact games in SMITE, I think, even though his abilities are different overall. So, for the ultimate, Fafnir lets his curse consume him and transforms into a terrifying dragon. On activation, Fafnir becomes immune and nearby enemies become feared and poisoned, taking damage every second for 3 seconds. Fafnir remains in the dragon forms for 30 seconds after activation. While a dragon, his abilities and basic attacks have additional effects. Damage per tick, 160 plus 30% scaling, fear duration up to 2 seconds, cooldown 60 seconds. So, even without cooldown reduction from the current state, you can almost always be in the dragon form. It lasts 30 seconds and the cooldown is 60 seconds. With max CDR, you're almost always a dragon. That might change though. That is everything we know so far. Thank you guys for watching. Duke Sloth out.